Okay. Okay, so the reason we are making this video is don't you see all this? You see all this? You see this shit that happened? You see the laptop remember the laptop screen? That is what that is the biggest damage of them all. So drive a little slow, it's fine. From now on, we will drive a little slow, it's fine. So now that now that I've put that out of the way, that was the primary purpose. That is the primary purpose of making this whole video. Obviously, more than 90 seconds I can't upload, so the rest will be on YouTube, obviously. But yes, so what happened is I was on my scooty and I was driving pretty fast, like I usually do, and I was going right behind a car, and I was going pretty fast as I usually do, and the car went right over a pothole, and because the wheels are apart, it went over the pothole without any interruption, and I was right behind the car, and then I saw the pothole, and this pothole was not a normal pothole; it was like a pretty good pothole. It was like a pretty deep pothole. So I was like driving, and the pothole came, and so I was going, basically, I was going to my relative's house with my laptop in my laptop bag, and the laptop bag was near my legs. And I went, and I was going, pothole came, and then the pothole was pretty big, and I knew it was deep enough that if I went in, I would get like a huge jerk, and so I hit the brakes and I tried to like do that, but that's how I fell, and yeah, that sucked. Like, as in, it was fine. Like, I fell, and it was like, oh my god, I fucking fell. And then my first thoughts were, like, God, I hope nothing happened to the scooty. And then I get up, and then I pick the scooty up, and then a guy driving behind me stops, and then a guy who was driving behind me in the car, he stops. He's like, "Are you fine? Are you fine?" I get up, and then there's a scratch here, and it's bleeding, and there are some scratches here, and they were also bleeding. It was fine. Like, I was like usually fine, and then I picked the scooty up, and I was holding the scooty like this, and I was talking to the guy. Like, no, I'm fine, I'm fine. And then I realized I have to move the scooty a little bit, and then I tried to take the scooty a little bit forward, and the scooty is still on, and I do this like a fucking idiot, and then the scooty just goes like this, and I fall over again while I'm standing still, which is so much more embarrassing. Like, I fell down, I got up, and I'm holding the scooter, and I'm talking to the guy, and the guy's like, "Are you okay? Are you fine?" And then I'm like, "Yes, I'm fine. It's just a scratch." And then and I fall over again, which is so much more embarrassing. I fall over again. This time another bike guy stops the bike ahead, comes back, helps me up with the scooty. He's like, "Switch it off first." I'm like, "Yes, I have to switch it off first." I switched it off. I parked it, and then he takes my helmet, and then he puts it in the dicky for me, and he puts it inside the scooty for me. I'm just checking of the injuries, and then the car guy gives me a water bottle. He washes my wound, and I'm like, "Thank you." And then he's like, people are honking behind him because he stopped the car in the middle of the road. So people are honking at him to go. So he starts going. I'm like, "Thank you, thank you." I'm wearing my mask, so it's not that audible. But he heard. He said, "Yeah, he smiled." I'm like, "Thank you." And then the other guy's like, and at this time I still don't realize that I got a scratch here. It's vaguely burning. And he's like, "Yeah, there's a first aid center right here. Just go get it treated." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I pick up my laptop bag when I see this shit, and I was like, "Oh my god, did something happen?" But on the outside, the laptop looked fine. So I was like, "Okay, we'll deal with this later." And then I get on my scooty, I drive to the first aid center, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm coming." And then I go, I sit, and then he starts first putting saline water and cleaning it, and then he puts some antiseptic and he cleans it. It starts burning, and then he's like, "I'm gonna put fucking spirit on this, and that's gonna burn a lot more." And then it did. It burned so much, and then he cleaned it, and then he made this huge. All this time, I'm just thinking, I'm gonna get fucked by my parents when I go home, because it's cold. I got injured, and my mom was always telling me to drive slow. And so that's what, like, he pours spirit on this, and then it burns a lot more. But then I just shake my leg, and I'm like, "Ooh, So I breathe on it, I breathe on it, I'm like, and then he dresses it, he puts a betadine, and then he makes this huge ass bandage, which there was no need also. You could just put a cotton and a plaster and like this, and it would have been fine. But he makes a huge dressing, and then he is like, he starts cleaning this wound, and then he first cleans it with saline water. Then he puts some antiseptic. Then he's like, I'm gonna pour spirit here also, and then I back away. I'm like, do you really need to? And then he's like, the wound is pretty bad here also. You can't see it. And then I look like this, and I can see it, and it is bad. I'm like, okay, fine, fucking pour it then. And then he pours spirit there also, and then he dresses that wound also. And by at this time, yeah. Point is, I'm at this point I'm still really amused, and I'm like, okay, so it's my first accident, and I'm like, So all this happens, and then he cleans these wounds also, a little bit minor scratches, and then he's like, I have to give you a TT injection and a painkiller injection. I'm like, okay, fine. You know what? Fine. Maybe. As a precaution, sure. And he gives me both injections. And then he gives me some painkillers. And then he's like, the fucking bill is 950 rupees. 950 rupees for fucking first aid. And I'm like, fine. And I pay the bill and I come out. But 950 rupees. I don't mind getting hurt. I'm fine with that. I'll heal. 950 rupees. Simply. And I called my dad and I told my dad about it. I'm like, yeah, I skid and fell. I got first aid. What should I do? Dad is like, now come back home. It's fine. Don't go. And yeah, for some reason, he didn't scold me after I came back home also. Just so weird. He didn't scold me. And like I told some of my other friends, if he would have scolded me, then I would have had a reason to be angry at him. But no, he didn't scold. And what else? I told my dad, I'm like, yeah, and then he's like, okay, come home. He said, just come home, only to go to your aunt's house now. So essentially, what happened was, I woke up early in the morning, got dressed up, got ready, went out, got an accident, and came back. That is essentially what I did today. Very productive. And what else? That one, came back home and showed him all this, and then he's like, you should have been more careful. I told you not to drive fast. And I'm like, yeah, dad. And that's it. He doesn't scold more than that. That's not even scolding much. He just spoke to me. Like, you shouldn't have driven that fast. And then what else? It's only like shirt also got ruined, obviously. This, like, I think this is the betadine mark, I think. But yeah, this shirt got ruined a little bit. It got scratches and see, and till now the main thing, till now it was fine. I was actually kind of like, it was an amusing thing. Interesting stuff. It was an interesting thing that happened, and interesting stuff doesn't usually happen to me. So I was like, okay, so I was thinking that I will shoot this video, because I have to remember my first accident and everything that has happened, and I got hurt a little bit and some money was spent, but it's okay. And now I'll learn to drive a little bit slower. Until now, this was just very entertaining and amusing to me up until now. And I was honestly not feeling anything negative about it at all. I was smiling and I was in a nice mood only. Then I open my laptop and I see that the screen got fucked. And that is when I started feeling like really shitty. Because, yeah, so the laptop screen is fucked, but thankfully I can still use it. And it's like only like the right side ka 10% is fucked, and the pixel there are dead pixels there. It still works. I can still use it. I am pretty sure I can still work, and it's not affected the functioning. But it's just, that is when I got really pissed, because now I'll have to spend money to fix this, and my laptop is obviously a huge part of my routine and my comfort zone. I watch One Piece on it, and I needed to stay relaxed and feel good. And the screen got fucked, and now I can watch One Piece. It's just yeah, it's just that's when I lost my shit and started feeling really irritated. Because if I'd have driven better, then laptop would have been safer. That's it. Now I have to spend unnecessarily extra money to fix it, and that's it. That's it. I will now show the videos of my injuries, and after injury, I think this is fine. Like after injury, this is how I look. I don't think I need to show another video, but ah. So I don't know. I was thinking of saying other things in this video also, but then the laptop thing happened and I just lost my shit. And yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know why I'm making this video also. Before the laptop thing, I was just actually genuinely thinking of making this video for entertainment purposes, comedy purposes. I thought it would be a good idea. Now I'm just venting. I am just venting. Anyways, main purpose is I address that in the first 90 seconds of this video, which is damages were done, things you really did care about got hurt, so drive slower next time. And that's it. And yeah, my friends keep telling me don't wallow in self-pity, and that is fair, but I am feeling like a piece of shit and I don't know what to do about it. I don't know. I thought after talking I feel better. I don't feel better at all. In fact, I'm feeling worse now that I've addressed the issue. I'm feeling worse now that I've said it out loud. So, I don't know. I don't know. But watch videos of me. Now, come back next week when I'll get another accident and I'll upload another episode. Okay, bye.